What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Homie Hangout, where we help others move in excellence. And I have another video planned for later today, but I've received some information about this incident at Solano. I've double and triple checked that information with folks at various other institutions. And I feel like the information that's been put out so far is not necessarily accurate. And so what I'm hearing happened and what I think makes the most sense is three or four buses pulled up to Solano yesterday. Every yard in the prison was high tension, thinking, hearing, knowing that the odds are some bulldogs were on those buses and we're going to get put on one of the 4 yards, right? Well, that happened. Two bulldogs got put on D yard, which is also known as 4 yard, which is a level 2 dorm living at Solano. Solano has 2 level 3 yards, 1 and 2, or A and B, and it has 2 level 2 yards, 3 and 4, or C and D, depending on how you want to define it. And so 2 bulldogs went to D yard. They barely got in there when about 10 people rushed them, made up of a mix of Northerners and Southerners, and I don't know the exact, how many of which that there were. It was a hands-on issue, right? One ambulance was called to pull up on the yard. Unknown kind of who got that level of treatment. Safe to say it was probably one of the bulldogs, just because the numbers were so lopsided. And so that was it. It was not bulldogs going to level 3 yards. It was not a bloodbath. It was not some north, south, and whites going after bulldogs because of retaliation from what happened in Salinas, which I was the first to tell you guys about in a video, the day after it happened. It was just North and South versus Bulldogs. And there is going to be North and South versus Bulldogs, no matter what happens anywhere else, and no matter what prison. That beef is constant. Both of those groups have a green light, right? And so that ain't gonna change. In terms of the bus and Bulldogs not getting off the bus or being CTQ'd or anything else, there's really nothing to suggest that any of that happened. I don't know where that rumor started. I had expressed some skepticism about that, but it just, there's nothing to suggest it happened, and that's coming from various group segments, right? So I don't know where that started. Now, there were a couple bulldogs that was released to one of the level 3 yards a couple months ago, right around a couple months ago, and they got removed immediately, but that was it, right? So that's not related to the bus that everybody was talking about a week or two ago. And so there you go. The level 2s, obviously controlled yard recall, they got slammed down. And we will see what happens from here. This is a foreshadowing, not a foreshadowing. This is a expected result of trying to integrate the Bulldogs with the North and the South, right? And this is going to keep happening. I would not expect them. I wouldn't expect the administration to try to mix Bulldogs from level 4 yards to yards where there's North and South that are loyal to their organizations. Because I don't want to call them active yards, because the Bulldog yards are also active. I don't want to call it general population, because the Bulldogs are also on general population yards. They're just on general population yards that don't have people from the North and South, right? That line up with the mob or the mafia. So I wouldn't expect them to get shuffled around anytime soon. I'm not sure where CDC is going to go. I don't have any law enforcement contacts. I don't have any contacts with the administration, so I don't know what they're thinking. But just from the perspective of somebody that's done some time, the perspective of somebody that looks at this stuff and has somewhat of a critical approach, right? And tries to be as honest and straightforward and fact-based as I can, unless I'm offering an opinion. I don't my opinion, my thought is, I don't think that happens. So anyways, just to recap, there was 2 bulldogs that went to a level 2 yard in Solano. They got rushed by the north and south, as is to be expected. 1 ambulance was called to the yard. It's unknown who that ambulance was there to deal with. Safe to say it's probably a bulldog, just because the numbers were outnumbered. And that's it, right? That's all that happened. And so you know, I don't often come out with the first information on things. That incident at Salinas Valley with the north, south, and wood getting smashed by, or getting rushed by, the Floridas and the Bulldogs, and the wood and the south side are getting smashed. That I broke first, but only because I had some very good, very accurate information. But otherwise, I don't tend to be the first, because I try to be the most accurate, and I try to have something of substance to bring to you guys. Nonetheless, I got another video planned for today. I'm expecting to do my Q&A and then a live afterwards later on today. But I just wanted to get this out there because I know there's a lot of chatter around what happened in Solano. So help others move in excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time, man, because you're worth it. Stay tuned to the channel. Check out the other content, and we'll go from there. Have a good one.